want to lose introduction.
No. Thanks for joining the third web session we organize for our members, but also newcomers, on the mobile exhibition Space Girls, Space Women, and the new exhibition Space for a Sustainable World. We have with us invited speaker Fiorella Cogliolo and Benoit Desplein, who created both exhibitions, and we want to discuss with them a bit what motivated them, background information, and learn more about the new exhibition. We have invited a number of regions to share their experience and maybe to motivate other regions to bring the exhibitions to their regions. I saw from the list of participants that we have some newcomers. And just maybe in a nutshell, I prepared some slides to say what is Space Girl, Space Woman about. So we can then start the discussion and listen to the testimonials of the different regions. Just some practical instruction. For the follow-up, we will record this meeting. If participants, you can then later ask us to listen to it. Please, for the good acoustic, we are so many, please mute yourself. And when you take the floor, unmute you, and it will make things for all of us easier. This session is really meant to engage with you, to discuss with you. We really warmly invite you to comment, to ask questions. As we cannot do this all together in a teleconference, we have the chat. We monitor constantly the chat, and so we can then react to you. So, Space Girl, Space Woman, Space Through the Eyes of Women is a photo exhibition of portraits of women studying and working, doing trainings in space. NEREUS decided to become a sponsoring partner because we really liked the topic. We wanted to share this with our regions, that more regions can benefit from it and see and bring it to the different communities. The whole exhibition is much larger. But we decided to have 40 photos for our members, and we had usage rights for almost 4 years. Our regions could really, as a joint infrastructure, use this exhibition and share it. And it traveled, as you can see from the list, through many of our member regions. And each region had its own agenda, had its own occasion, its own setting, and built around their events with the community. Space Girl, Space Woman is an exhibition made by women. It's women photographers and women photo reporter, and it's portraits of women in different space professions, space studies. And NEREUS could also contribute to building the exhibition, proposing women that are portrayed. And we have 2 women in the exhibition from NEREUS regions. Daniela Drimako from Apulia regions that you can see on the left side. She is an Earth observation engineer and works for the Italian company Planetech. And on the right-hand side, you see Anna Maria Martens. She is an oceanography professor from Azores, a group of islands in the Atlantic. And both follow also NEREUS activities, and we were there quite happy that we also have 2 ambassadresses in the exhibition. Maybe we can now from there start and share experiences with other regions. And
I distributed the report before the meeting, right? So,
Please mute yourself. Okay, I stop sharing. And I can see. I mute all. Okay. So, first, I like to give the floor to Fiorella and Benoit. And maybe you could share with us a little bit your ideas behind the exhibition, what stimulated you to create this exhibition, and what was your experience over the last years when it toured through Europe?
Okay, thank you. Maybe Benoit, I can start and then you can complement. Uh, the exhibition space. First of all, thank you, Roya, for organizing this webinar. And just I give you some information about the idea of this Space Girl, Space Women exhibition. First of all, this was born by, let's say, meeting between me and Benoit, that we are different background. Myself is an astronomer. I'm an astronomer, but I'm engaged in diversity and inclusion issues. We met in Paris. At that time, I was also working a lot on with an association called Women of Space Europe, and considered also my experience working for the exhibition for the European Space Agencies. We decided to put together these ideas, considered also the experience of Benoit in photo production. Then he can, of course, explain much better than myself his role on that. And we decided to promote the role of women in space, to attract also young girls in STEM activities. And the idea is to show the human side of space, because very often we see satellites, we see images, we see great achievements in space, but we don't see the people working behind it. So this was also one reason why women, because we know that we need more women in space. And at that time I was working on that topic, and also when we started to interface with different organizations and space agencies and industries, we realized that this was really an issue, the diversity in these companies. And so we had the opportunity to have the European Space Agency as funding partner of the project. And then, of course, we have NEREUS, we have the CNES, we have Cité de l'Espace, we have GSA, Cité des Sciences in Paris. So we had different partners. We need to say, I want to say that NEREUS was a really great experience, because we had the opportunity to stage the exhibition in different regions, reach different target audiences. So this is really in line with our vision and our goal. So this is from, I think, a little bit the frame from my side, from by being the co-author of the exhibition. So maybe now I let Benoit to complement this information.
Yes, thank you, Fiorella. Thank you, Roya. I come from more photo reportage and photo background, and I was working with UNESCO a lot when we met with Fiorella. I did a big exhibition for them on education, and when we talked about this project, about how to stage and relay the voice of women, we thought what was important was to really start with representing the three generations of women, like from a young girl who look at the sky until the women who are actually working in labs or become astronauts. So our idea was really to give a voice to young girls, to students, to women working in the space industry also, but to cover the very different situation and the very different profile that you have when you can work and work with your passion of space. So actually, I think the feedback we women we interviewed more than 20 women in very different areas of the world. Many of them in Europe, because our idea was also to discover the space programs and the space activities through the eyes of women, and to explain these programs and activities with their words. So the feedback we got from them was that I mean, we found a lot of women and a lot of girls working or passionate with space, but they never had really the chance before to explain their experience. So for them, it was like the occasion, the opportunity to talk, to be more visible, and also to share their experience with other women. So that was one of the big lessons we got from them, because from my experience, because I'm more into testimonies and understanding things through the testimonies of people rather than technology, because this is my formation, my education. Then I think it was a great experience to work on this with Fiorella on this technological theme, mixing and giving the voice to real life testimonies.
Yes, and in this respect, you made really a wonderful job of showing really personality, personal, individual experience, together with very technical and content background information. We as NEREUS, we are a platform of regions, and our joint mission is to bring forward, to promote the use and understanding of space. And for us, education, training, and attracting the next generation for space-related studies and professions is key. We firmly believe that Europe can build fantastic space systems, but if we don't manage to mobilize and to attract the next generation to continue this work and to be at the forefront of science and research, this investment is not really capitalizing. So it goes hand in hand with education, training, and promoting space. What we liked very much about your experience, about your exhibition, was that you showed the whole broad panorama of professions behind space. You have the Italian astronaut that everybody loves in the exhibition, but you have also many different space professions portrait, and also to show that behind a mission are a lot of tasks that need to be fulfilled. That is something we really appreciated.
Yeah, just
yes,
like
please.
we have 3 generations of women, and one of the targets was really young audience in the space camp, because the idea is that young students, or I mean young generation, they play, let's say, with space, but our goal was also to stimulate passion for space. This is why we have women at leadership position, but also we have very young girls, and also the idea is, of course, we have Samantha Cristoforetti, because she is the say the astronaut female of the European Space Agency, but also we like also to promote other role. If you see one in the exhibition, we have technicians, we have researchers, we have model. It was really also designed from the beginning to stimulate the interest of young students in STEM.
Thank you. Now we move on to the testimonials of member regions who hosted the exhibition, who brought it to the region, built an event around it, and made their own experience. I'd like first to give the floor to Nathalie Stephan from Wallonia region. Wallonia region is one of the founding members and a very, very active region in everything that concerns Copernicus. And Nathalie brought the exhibition to a really most fantastic place. I was overwhelmed. Nathalie, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Roya. So I will take the floor and...
So Nathalie, one moment to share your video while you speak.
Thank you. Margarita. So I was not able to choose one or two pictures, so I made a video to let you pass the adventure of the exhibition in Wallonia.
Okay,
So,
I think now normally everyone can see the video.
thank you, Margarita. So I'm working for the local authority, the Public Service of Wallonia, SPW. I'm managing a group specialized in remote sensing within the different administration. The name of this group is GT Kowal. And my personal interest in gender equality took place more than 10 years ago at the start of GMES. If you search on the web, GMOS, with 2 double S at the end, gender GMOS, I was already there. So it's quite long ago. When I heard about Space Girls, Space Women exhibition, I was immediately interested by the huge opportunity of this inspiring photograph. The proposal was positively received by my colleague in charge of communication, Emmanuel Joquet. Thanks, Emmanuel. But also by my line of manager. For information, the same proposal had no impact in my previous institution. As you can see on the video, the exhibition was mounted in 3 sites in Wallonia with different audiences. The start of the exhibition at Wallonia SPW office of Liège, we had an event called the Spring of Science that invited the students of the university to the event, and we had 400 people visiting the sites from February to April. 2 events have been organized by the GT Kowal, and this event attracted also usual audience in front of the portrait. Roya was part of the exhibition that started the Women and Copernicus conference. During the summer, as you can see now, the exhibition was installed in the Abbey of Villers-la-Ville, a very beautiful heritage site if you come to Belgium, and we reached around 14 people, and particularly families, so young generation. Roya was also present for the opening. With the agreement of the Walloon Parliament, the exhibition was installed at the end of the year under the glass roof of the beautiful building in Namur. We did also 2 conferences with the presence of the minister and another one dedicated to diversity and gender equality. This allowed also to the audience of the conference to have access to the exhibition. The audiences affected by these various events are larger than our usual audience in the conference. So we hope that this conference and exhibition has been able to understand the interest of space for the public administration, but also the position of women and girls in this field. The regional administration supported our initiative in all these exhibition adventure by giving us a prize of diversity. The implementation of the exhibition and the mobilization that was ours in 2019 was a point to start my reflection. And this year, at the end of 2019, in 2020, with the end of the Space Girl, Space Woman exhibition, we start a new project called Women in Copernicus. Marie Jagaille will talk about it later. I already received a request for the exhibition for 2021, so I'm really keen to hear about the new proposal. And just a point that, of course, from our region, we would like to have people that represent ourselves. So I don't know if it's a possibility to interact in the design of the new exhibition, because in Wallonia we have something to say. Thank you.
Many
Thank you very
thanks,
much.
Stefania. Natalie, that's really, really impressive, the video. It was as beautiful as the exhibition in the monastery.
You like.
Thank you very much. NEREUS stands for diversity. We have many different regions, and with Space Girls, Space Woman, you can also see this diversity, how the different regions presented the exhibition and what kind of events they built around. I like now to give the floor to Teresa Barbardo from Madrid region. Please share your experience with the Space Girls and Space Women exhibition with us. Wait, we can't hear you. I will unmute you. Okay, you should be unmuted.
And also I shared the presentation for from Teresa. I hope you see it on screen.
Teresa, we can't hear you. I don't know what is the problem. Yeah, now, try now, speak. We can't hear you. You are unmuted, but we can't hear you. I move on to another region and then maybe you can solve your technical problem.
Maybe she can put the headphones, she can connect with her headphones. It might be easier.
Okay, maybe we leave Teresa, maybe her colleague can help her. We move on to Abruzzo. Lucia Mariangeli, you brought the exhibition to your region. Maybe you can briefly introduce yourself and share your experience.
Thank you very much, Roya. I'm very excited to speak again about Space Girls, Space Women. I work at the university in Chieti, and I'm a geologist. I'm working in planetary exploration. And we had the exhibition in two different sites. The first one was at the university. We put the pictures on the wall of the corridors and let the student to look at the images and get attracted by these wonderful women. And then, since I kept the exhibition for a long time, we also organized a second event in Pescara, in the city of Pescara. Pescara and Chieti are about 20 kilometers in distance, completely different location nearby the seaside. This one, the picture from the exhibition in Chieti, it was mid-December, so we are also prepared Christmas trees with all the pictures reduced in small circles, and the effect was very nice. So, and afterwards in Pescara, we were at the we are in touch with this association of the people who worked in the aeronautics arm, now are retired, but they are still very active, and they asked me to organize another exhibition with all these pictures. And you see the place, it's a former liquor industry in Pescara, and it is now used for public events. Also, we had some colleagues from different areas of the space science to talk about their experience in this field, and we a lot of people visited the exhibition. It was very touching, and as you said at the beginning, clearly the VIPs are the first, you know, to be to attract the eyes of the participants, but then all the different young researchers were were able to be to show what they do. And this actually was a little problem, because the explanation on what each girl, each woman really does in the picture, it was it was a very short summary, and for me was difficult to explain the beautiful and the detail of their work, just for a limited number of pictures were possible to get connected with the short interview. But I would like, you know, to give more importance and more explanation on what that kind of work really means, because especially students were asking me about these details. So this is something that may be taken into account for the future. And I'd like to say another thing regarding the involvement of the Abruzzo regional administration for this event. And unfortunately, it was not so good. The people of the local administration was very active and very helpful. But at the regional level, it was not the same. So this is a pity, and I would like to suggest also to use the Europe Direct Center we have at regional level, to and ask them to have a sort of permanent exhibition. I mean, to have a space and a room dedicated to this kind of event from NEREUS. And thank you.
Thank you, Maria Angeli. Thank you, Lucia. Stop sharing. Okay.
Andrea, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect, Teresa. We are very glad. The floor is yours. We want to know, how was Space Girl, Space Woman presented in Madrid?
Okay, thank you very much. Hi, everyone. My name is Teresa Barbado. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience with my phone from Madrid. And thank you very much for inviting us to take part in this webinar about the experiences we had with the exhibition Space Girls and Space Women. What motivated us to bring the exhibition to our region was the fact that the region of Madrid is a member of NEREUS network, of course, and also hosts the ESA Business Incubation Center. So the regional government is firmly committed to space research and innovation, and therefore to space promotion and public outreach. So the exhibition was presented in Madrid in the framework of the International Day of Women and Girls in Science, the 11th of February in 2019. And as you know, it aims to achieve full and equal access to science for women and girls, and further achieve gender inequality. The inequality of gender, I think, in science is particularly obvious in space research. So we wanted to launch the message that space is not only a men's world, but also a place where women are successfully joining. The exhibition was held in the Royal National Observatory, in a very nice building, a very old building in the center of Madrid, and it was completed by a roundtable with Spanish women researchers in the fields of astrophysics and space. The public attending the exhibition was mainly high school students, and that had the opportunity of asking them about their careers, their enthusiasm, their difficulties in reaching the top. No? The exhibition lasted 1 week, and it was visited by 500 people. I would like to say that the reaction of the people were very positive. The attendees were really, really amazed to see those beautiful photos of women and girls of all races and ages working in the space. This initiative, fantastic initiative, I have to say, is clearly in line what we are doing in the foundation. Encouraging young people, boys and girls, to embark on scientific careers, especially STEM discipline, is in the core of our outreach activities. The Regional Ministry of Science, through the foundation I represent, is deeply concerned about it, and most part of our program are addressed to reach that goal. We organize since 2000 the Science and Innovation Week, the Fair Madrid Science, or the European Researcher Night since 2009. In all these activities, our main target are students without gender barriers. And the exhibition, as I said before, stimulated other activities because we organized the roundtable with women in the work of the space fields, and it happened to involve people at different research centers and universities. We had an aeronautical engineer, a young PhD in astrophysics, a researcher of the Astrobiology Center in Madrid that was an expert in geology and planetary atmosphere, an astronomer and a scientist of the European Space Agency. All of them transmitted their enthusiasm to the students. Finally, I would like to highlight that the exhibition was great. I think that the quality of the photos, the images were really good, and also the comments. The diversity of places and women all over the world were fantastic. Perhaps I have to say that we missed more flexibility in the adaptation of the exhibition to each country. For instance, to include some local researchers in the photos, in the images. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Teresa, for your interesting outlook. How the Space Bird, Space Woman exhibition attracted young people in Madrid.
Yes.
Fiorella and Benoit, you shared with me that the exhibition was hosted in 21 European cities and attracted almost 2.5 million visitors. Now you heard the different testimonials from NEREUS regions. Do you have to the representatives questions or comments?
No, I think it's really great to have this feedback because I mean we are very happy to see that this exhibition was living in all these cities, and it's great to see how it was perceived, the enthusiasm, but also sometimes the frustrations. It's true that it's difficult to in a photo exhibition to add more content. Because we always have the comments to put as less text as possible because it's too much reading, too much. I mean, it's bilingual. So in this exhibition, Space Girls, Space Women, we had the QR codes on the panels, but we think it was not really a time when people were accustomed to QR codes, and maybe it was not really well displayed or well explained what kind of information you could use through the QR codes reading, because we had the interviews of the woman in video, but it was underused in the touring of the exhibition. So that's things we plan to improve in the next exhibition. Also, because of COVID, we now know much more how to use QR codes. I mean, more people are now know that they can get information whenever you go to restaurants. You need to use a QR code now to read the menu, or if you go to the theater, you have it for the program. So we think also that we will use different types of multimedia in the next exhibition, such as podcast, which has also emerged as a media, which is much more maybe friendly to use, and so we will work on that definitely. And also we also think that it's very important for each exhibition to have a link with a local people. I mean, a local voice. So we will also propose ways to integrate local voices, local scientists, local users of space technologies. That's for sure.
That's fine. That's fine.
Good, good. We shared with you the testimonials of our regions. NEREUS is a platform to mobilize EU-funded, interregional, ESA-funded activities. And we support partners, we stimulate them to come together, we inform them of funding opportunities. And we were especially happy to see that some of our members got engaged in a project targeting women in the Copernicus sector. And I'm very pleased to give the floor to Marie Chagall from Brittany region, who presents a project that a little bit was stimulated to space girls, space women. Please, Marie, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Roya. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Marie Chagall from Brittany Remote Sensing Group, a regional organization bringing together space actors in Brittany region. Thank you to Roya and Margarita for allowing me to say a few words about the Space Girl, Space Woman project and a resulting project, the Women in Copernicus project. I didn't get the chance to see the exhibition, Space Girl, Space Woman, but I had already watched some photo and video portraits on the website when this winter Nathalie Stephen contacted me and she wanted to propose me a similar project focused this time on Earth observation on Copernicus, the Women in Copernicus project. Two things motivated this project idea. First, the lack of visibility of women in Copernicus. Even though discussing about the possibility of a new project, Nathalie and I immediately agreed that we both knew many competent and inspiring women working in the field of Copernicus. Some of them are here today. And secondly, the success of Space Girl, Space Woman, which have inspired us. We talked about the idea to Roya, and she immediately identified a dream team of women to concretize the project. I think about Estefania, Aida, Grazia, Natasha, Barbara. And we submitted the project and obtained a budget from Coordinate to launch a survey in order to better identify the women working in Copernicus, learn about their path and give them a voice and a face. We had a great success with the survey with more than 450 answers, and preliminary results show that many women are working in Copernicus. They are proud of their jobs and they want to talk about it. Most of them are satisfied of their work environment, even if most of them have also noticed gender bias in their careers. They are very satisfied of their job, have a high level of technical skills and want to be useful, developing products and services dedicated to users. And despite of these skills and this satisfaction, they are not at a high level of the hierarchy, and the lack of confidence is still one of the most important barriers in their career. And I would like to focus on a point, the role models. The survey showed that the lack of role models is one of the two main reasons explaining the low proportion of women in STEM. And this result is important to us because it confirms the usefulness of the Women in Copernicus project and before it the Space Girl, Space Woman project, because they both give a voice and a face to women in space. And these testimonials are very important in order to encourage, inspire women and girls and give them confidence. The results of the Women in Copernicus project, including results of the survey and testimonials, will be available on our website. And to finish, I would like to thank the Space Girl, Space Woman project for opening the door.
Thank you. I open the floor. Does anybody of the participants have a question to Marie Chagall about her project? Okay, then we can.
Just more questions. Just we are, happy and proud that we Space Girls, Space Women pave the way for new project, and also if of course it's women in Copernicus, but the let's say the global goal is the same, is to improve the role of women in space and also at leadership positions. So this was great.
Okay, good. Now we move on, and I like to share good news with you. The current space exhibition, Space Girl, Space Woman, you can use and present to your regions until the end of December 2020. But things are moving on, and we are very glad to share with you the news about the new exhibition that Fiorella and Benoit are working on, Space for a Sustainable World. And you are going to explain us more about what it will. They want to build a photo exhibition around the sustainable goals and show what space can contribute to bring forward those objectives with concrete stories. NEREUS, as a network, decided again to be a sponsoring partner to support this initiative. And our member regions will again be able to use the exhibition presented. And we feel especially proud to be part of this initiative because we think this is even Space Girl, Space Woman was very close to our mission with respect to the next generation, with respect to promoting education training, which is essential if you want to use and develop the systems. With the new exhibition, we are particularly attracted because it is even closer to the core objective of our mission, to show what can you do with space. How can you use space in concrete challenges that concern our regions, that concerns our world in context of water, of energy, of clean and healthy food, of health that concerns now everybody in this corona crisis, and to show this in concrete stories that concern people. Fiorella and Benoit, maybe you can give us a little bit background, what motivated you, what triggered you to develop this exhibition?
Thank you, Roya. Maybe is also for the Space Girls, Space Women, myself and Benoit, by having two different background, but we complement our ideas. So the idea was that okay, the success of Space Girls, Space Women, and from my side, I was working. On the SDGs and the relation with space, in particular for SDG number 4, quality education, number 5, gender equality. So I was starting to work on this project, and then with Benoit, we start to discuss how we can, in some way, continue to have this space women emphasis. Just I mean, to continue in the future, but of course with a different exhibition. So we started to work on this concept. The idea is also that the sustainable development goals are really say crucial for our planet, for our future, and space can play an important role on that. Of course, the first application that we have in mind is climate change, for example. But our idea is also to emphasize the role of space technologies and application for the different SDGs. Of course, let's say the human side in this case, it will be also shown. It can be scientists, it can be the users, and we started also, I mean, at the beginning to discuss this idea with UNO. That is our partner, and TeamCat, the company of Benoit, is just signed the memorandum of understanding with them for this exhibition. So of course this allow us also to build a platform of users, and after that we started to share with our partners. Maybe I leave now for Benoit to to also to maybe to say to give some information on the design and the partners and.
Yes, I think, thank you, Fiorella. The idea was really, instead of building another Space Girl, Space Woman exhibition, it was to introduce Space Girl, Space Woman exhibition into a new challenge, which is the challenge that we all face, like the building of a sustainable world. And right now, you have so many people who are asking, what can I do myself to, especially in the young generation, to be positive? I mean, to add my experience or to do something for Earth or for a more sustainable future. That we wanted to, in the same way as we did in Space Girl, Space Woman, to see, witness like real testimonies of people who are actually using space or who are building solutions using space technologies to build a sustainable world in the very different thematics that are in the SDGs of in the UN definition. So the idea was actually to give a face to either the SDGs, which sometimes are very broad goals, and also to give a face to a solution, a person who is actually working on or building a solution with space technology or using space technology. So in this exhibition, we would like also to have not only people who are basically scientists, but also people who are beneficiaries. So the idea was also to, we have the 17 SDGs, and we wanted in each SDG to give the voice to at least one person using space solution or building a space solution. Actually, I think we will have more than 17 portraits, but because we also think that this exhibition will be a little bit more multimedia than the other one, and more integrated into multimedia because also of COVID crisis, because we want this exhibition to be able to live even with the pandemic. So the idea is, I would say, this time we will have at least half of the portraits which will be women or girls. So we keep the I would say the involvement, but we open it up to of course, I mean to boys and girls, to boys and men, and we will all of them being in the same goal of building a sustainable planet. We also think, I mean, myself, I'm not a space specialist, but I see more and more in the news the use of space images. But sometimes, I mean, there are just images. You don't see exactly the solution behind or the people using it. So the idea is a little bit the same as in Space Girls, is to put some more human experience behind it. So we will be working on these testimonies, I mean, very soon, because thanks to the involvement of NEREUS, the involvement of CNES, the involvement of other partners that will join this new project, we hope to have it up and running in the next year, and of course much more integrated with testimonies from the regions of NEREUS.
Okay, thank you. We come to the outlook again. The French Space Agency is an associate member of NEREUS and involved in our activities. And I'd like to give the floor to Vincent Thomasou from CNES. You do also a lot of space promotion. You partnered also with Space Girls, Space Women, and you joined also the new exhibition, Space for a Sustainable World, as a partner. What motivated you?
Thank you, Roya. Hello to everyone. CNES is a French space agency, but it is not only a scientific entity as such. We are totally committed in the development of the end-to-end value chain from the system development to the end users and citizens. So in this domain, I would say that both exhibitions we are discussing are absolutely totally appropriate for us. Women in Space, of course, for gender balance activities and concerns. We want to open to women the space agency. Also, it's already a very strong trend, and it's a very good trend, of course. And regarding the how can I say, the link with the citizens and the question of sustainability and climate change, totally, CNES is totally involved in the actions related to this topic. In particular, actions taken following the One Planet Summit that took place in Paris 2 years ago. And among which we have the Space Climate Observatory, which was put in place by CNES to deliver space data to third countries, to develop specific indicators and models related with human sciences and these kind of things to monitor and mitigate the effect of climate change. Space data are useful information to educate young people and provide citizens with the tools to better understand and appreciate the question related to climate change. Space data are global, they are homogeneous, they are repetitive. They are priceless specification, and we want to promote that. And of course, as I was taking the point on women, we have the same with young people, and the challenge is to reach people everywhere in Europe, in particular the young people, because we need a new generation of scientists. It's very clear today that digital and new economy are major challengers for us, because the young professional wants to go to this kind of jobs, whereas we need strongly committed scientists. And from this point of view, the regions are the perfect vector to make a bridge between the space agency, between the people in charge of climate change, of sustainability, the scientific communities, and the young people. That's why we decided to commit ourselves in these exhibitions.
Thank you. It's for us also interesting to exchange on this with you, and maybe we can also build around the new exhibition a joint event and see also maybe integrate Occitanie region, the French region that is based where your organization is also based. That we need to explore. I give the floor again to Benoit and Fiorella to give us a little bit an outlook, because we are super excited of this new exhibition. When we look at the global situation, at the situation in our region countries, but also on our continent, this exhibition comes in the right time. And we have been struck by COVID-19 in my everyday life, in my professional life, in my private life. I think it will be also with you. How did the building of the exhibition, how was it impacted by the current situation we are living?
Well, I think what we're doing right now is very exciting in a way, because we're arriving at a point where everybody wants to rebuild after COVID. And the idea to provide a solution-oriented exhibition is quite interesting in this way. And also we are learning from COVID, from how to, the exhibition will not be the same after COVID. And as I said before, the idea is to have both the ability to show outdoor exhibition, so that we are not locked if there is there is already problems to exhibit indoor, and also to have a strong emphasis on multimedia and a better integration of multimedia links or multimedia experience within the exhibition, so that actually the multimedia component could be like a virtual room or a virtual meeting place for visiting the exhibition. So that's our challenge, and we think this is also interesting to prove that we can have even more audience because we would have done a good multimedia integration. So that's the two angles that we are working on: outdoor exhibition and a better multimedia integration and a real virtual room that we can offer. And also, as I said before, the use of podcasts, the use of, all the tools that we have all experienced during lockdown, like I said before, the use of QR codes, all these clever ways to that actually now the younger generation also like to use. We will include them much more directly into this exhibition, and we would also like to have more emphasis on social networks, on all which is building like a community and a network between people, much more than what we did for Space Girl, Space Woman, where we didn't have this objective.
Yeah, I also think that from COVID we learned that digitalization is really key today for project. So this is why we are trying, as Benoit mentioned, to emphasize the digital part of the exhibition. This will also allow us, but also all the users, to go. To have the opportunity to learn more also about the topic, because when we have an exhibition, printed exhibition, of course, as we already mentioned for Space Girls, Space Women, the text is short, we cannot really go in the details. When we have the digital part, or interview or podcast, this is something that can also be a good way to learn more about space and applications. And also we can also, let's say, have more people involved, because the exhibitions, of course, is 70 countries, 70 SDGs, 70 people. So this is also a way to give voice to different people in Europe, and also we are planning the exhibition in different locations. So the goal is also to reach different audience, different countries, of course, keeping in mind the COVID situation.
Thank you. You prepared 2 slides to give us a little bit an outlook. What are the next steps, and when do you think we will be able to see and to experience the exhibition?
Yes, we're actually targeting next summer its inauguration. So we are on track for this, and we would like to do to finish the concept and the production in the first 3 months of next year. So I would say by March, so that we have time to really work and be ready for Le Bourget, be ready for the next summer, and launch effectively in July. The idea is also that the content, because we're talking very much ahead than what we did for Space Girl, Space Woman, that we can integrate like stories, and we're going to have your input on stories related to SDGs and space solution related to SDGs. Interesting stories, interesting people that we can maybe include into the exhibition. So we're already starting this process. We are basically right now trying to finish the financing part and at least the most important financing so that we can start the editorial, and the content production. So this webinar arrived at the right time because if in your region you have stories or profiles, I cannot promise that we will integrate, but all of them, because it has to really be in line with the content of the exhibition. But please, yes, send us the information.
Thank you. We're coming now to an end. I wish to thank all participants, our invited speakers, the regions who brought so moving and impressive testimonies for joining us and for the rich discussion we had. I like to take it also as an occasion to invite you to the next webinar we are organizing on the 20th of October. And I think if education training is of interest, this initiative is also of interest for you. It's an Erasmus Plus funded initiative, a large partnership of 26 partners to improve education and training in the Earth observation sector. We will follow up this webinar and we'll put the material online for you to be shared. If you have additional photos or material you would like to share with the participants, you can even send it us. We will work after the today, but in the next day. It's not urgent. Then we can even put it.
Roya, may I ask you something?
Of course, please.
Good morning to everybody. I'm Stefania. I like to ask to Benoit and oh, sorry, I forget the name. Foliola. Yes. What do you expect that the region do it for the next exhibition? What do you expect us of doing to support the exhibition? What we can help you?
I think one way is already to organize the exhibition. Host it and to find, like you did in the examples that we had, the ability to host exhibition is already very important to us. If you have in advance an idea of when and where, that allows us to also communicate on it and to give more strength to our initiative. And also, as I said, if you have examples from agents of change that can be interviewed for the exhibition, that could be another way. And finally, if you have because we're still looking for financing, if you have institutions in your own region that would be willing to step in to our project, we're definitely trying to have more budget to make things more even better.
Yes.
Okay.
I saw the written answer by Natalie from Wallonia region. If you are still looking for profiles for agents, people to be interviewed, and people in our regions are aware of good examples, how do they best proceed? Contacting you directly? How shall they proceed?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe you make a first selection. I don't know how Benoit you want to deal with this, but maybe Roger, you can collect the information, and then we need to see which are the SDGs that are more, let's say, in line with the profile, and then. I just was thinking for the people or the profile that we cannot include in the exhibition, we can think to include in the digital part. Benoit, what do you think about that?
Yes, I think we have several ways to use the profiles, either in the physical exhibition, either on multimedia, or also in local exhibition.
So maybe that you centralize at the NEREUS level let's say the different input, and then we see together how we can, I mean, which are selected for the physical exhibition. But this time we are more flexible also to include some local, regional profile, just to say, just to answer also to the question of what we expect from regions. Well, I would just like to add that it's important to act at local level. Of course, we can have a big exhibition in New York or in Paris, in Rome, or whatever, but we know that if we want to promote the this, and we want also to inspire and influence the next generation of scientists, it's important to act at local level. This is why
Very good. Fiorella and Benoit, what could be maybe helpful if you extract something like an information for regions who would like to propose a profile, maybe something, putting together something like a call. I think that would give them some orientation. What kind of profiles are you looking for? And then we can facilitate this process.
Okay, yes, that sounds good.
Okay. And does anybody, I don't see any questions in the chat. Does anybody wants to ask a question or comment? Okay, then we thank all participants and speakers very, very warmly for having joined this webinar. We keep in touch with you. We look forward for you to join the next one on the 20th of October, and we will do a follow-up on our discussion today, and keep in touch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Margarita.
Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias.
Care. Bye bye.
Muchas
Thank you.
gracias.
Bye-bye, Fiorella. Thank you.